This is Vet Tales, the story of the sailing veterinary clinic. Last episode, we applied new total boat ablative antifile to Chuff's bottom. This episode, we splash and tackle some more boat jobs and fix an engine problem in the water. We also introduce you to our new veterinary project. We had applied new anti-foul in the San Carlos dry yard and had a few small boat jobs to tackle before splashing. Our little fan burnt out last season, so we've bought an exact replacement, which means replacing it should be very easy. I can just use the same stand and then it's just a matter of poking the new wires in. So let's see if it's as easy as I think. Alright, I think I can just undo these wires and then put these new wires through. Cool. Let's go to the other side. I think that's one fan installed. We are going to change the fuel filters today. So going to drain the fuel out of this one, change the Raycor fuel filter, and then also going to do the smaller secondary filter on the front of the engine. Look, there's some yucky bits. I think if we release that, it's probably going to go a little easier. Nope. That looks like it was pretty much due, huh? Up a little diesel on the seal. And on the seal. Alright. Now we can bump. We don't have an auxiliary fuel pump, so manually pump the engine. She sounds a little rough on first startup, but the Yanmars are really great at self-clearing air.
There we go.
We're going in the water. ¿Y necesitamos ir a la oficina primero o podemos ir a la muelle y regreso o qué es más? In the water. So far so good, engine's working. No leaky through holes, no leaking shaft seals. It's all working as it should. And if I do say so myself, I did a very good job docking the boat this time. There is not very much space and it went really well. First job back in the water is cleaning. Jim's doing the mast so that we can then get the sails on a clean boat. This gives you an idea of what the sun does, how harsh it is, sun and salt water. that stays inside the mast most of the time, and then this is what stays outside.
Getting the sails on.
Alright, just got the first batten in. Very important tool, a ruler. Makes the Velcro a lot easier. Okay, one. Good. All right, the sails are up. It's a big achievement. It always feels so good to see a sailboat with sails back on it. To put things into perspective, since it's sometimes hard in, video land to know exactly where we're at, we started working on the boat 11 days ago. So it's like we, sanded, painted, started some electrical stuff, did some engine maintenance, and then we splashed only, it's Saturday today, we splashed Thursday, so it's been like 2 full days in the water. And the splash day is always a bit of a day not much else gets achieved, because you're always you're waiting to splash, and things always don't happen at the exact right time, and then you've got to move the boat, and then you've got to go to the office, the marina office, and things take time that day. So we're buggered. It's been a big 11 days, but it feels really good because we're so close to being able to leave, and we're kind of hoping that we might be able to set sail in 5 days with the weather window. So it's going to be go, 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 go. But the sails are up. As you can probably see, we have actually started cleaning, believe it or not, the inside and the outside, but that is the next big step, is vacuuming everything, wiping everything down, and starting to put things back where they belong. And Jim will probably be working mostly on cleaning the deck while I do that. So yeah, that's the next big step. While Jim's been cleaning up on deck, I installed another fan. She's quite loud, that one. It's one of the Sea Choice fans, but doesn't have high draw on it, so that's good. And now I'm going to also replace this one. This is not a boat fan, I don't think. Or maybe it was. But it has a pretty high draw, and it'd be nice for the person who's in this room to be able to sleep with a fan on instead of draining the batteries. So we're going to put one of these guys in, the Caframo ones. It's funny the skills you get good at on a boat, because my dad's an electrician, but I didn't really do any electrical work pre-boat. Now I just strip wires it's nobody's business. Chuff's wiring still leaves a little bit to be desired. You can see the older wiring that goes to the all the way back to the bus bars and the switches is in brown and blue, which is a French way of doing it. So brown is positive and blue is neutral, negative. And you can see we actually have 2 lights coming off of this switch as well. And because we could only get red wire in Puerto Madero, both the positive and negative are wired in red here. But there is a black mark on this, and we can see it's connected to the blue wire. That tells us that's negative. And then this is our actual positive. Not confusing at all, but we know all of Chuff's secrets. And I am a huge fan of these little guys. I've got a little packet here. Comes with multiple sizes for different size wires, and you basically just poke your wire in each end, crimp it, and then it actually with heat self seals. So then it's waterproof, and kind of like this one, you can see that one's sealed. This one I've still got to apply heat to. But yeah, we'll replace this connection and then we're nearly done. Wiring's done. Let's see if it works. Lovely. Next up was an oil change, and we discovered an engine problem. This is a disclaimer. In the following scenes, I will say mechanical seal. I mean lip seal. For some reason, our manual says there's a mechanical seal when there is, in fact, a lip seal. So just change that in your mind as I talk. new engine might get a name soon because she's being a little naughty. We have a slight water leak coming from this area, which is kind of where salt water can drip out of the salt water pump, which I'm hoping, if I remember correctly from the last time I had problems with the old engine salt water pump, there's a seal at the behind the impeller. So we're going to pull the impeller out. It's due for a change or a check anyway. Since I'm going to have to pull it out, we'll probably just change it because I sometimes feel like the way I pulled them out probably isn't so good for them. And we'll see if we can figure out why there's a leak coming from behind it. All right, Mr. Impeller. This is not how you're meant to get an impeller out, but it works if you do not have the necessary tools. Thankfully, I have a stupid amount of experience with saltwater pumps since we rebuilt Janet's. So Will and I rebuilt Janet's in 2018, I think it was. Yeah. I can see an O-ring behind it, and I'm worried that that O-ring has come too far back. And that I would have thought, though, the engine's only been it's only got 500 hours on it, so I would have thought the mechanical seal would last longer than this. But anyway, I'll get some light and take a better look at it. All right, I'm no mechanic, but I think what had happened, there's like these two little little prongs that hold the mechanical seal in place, and I think it might have slipped past them. So I've moved it forwards again, and they now seem to be holding it in place, and now it's not moving back anymore. So I'm really hoping we don't need a new mechanical seal, and it had just moved a little bit. Maybe like it got dry when we were hauled out. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm now going to install a new impeller since I had to kind of pull this one out the way we did. He actually looks in pretty good condition still, but we've got two new ones, so I'd rather just install, and it's been 500 hours, so may as well. So I'm going to lubricate the inside of the pump with some glycerine that's included in the kit, and then I can put him in. And we are hoping, beyond hope, that that's all the problem, because we would like to leave in 2 days, and if it turns out the mechanical seal is buggered, we won't be leaving in 2 days, because I'm guessing that's going to take some time to order. So we'll see. And the problem here is we have a weather window in 2 days, but the weather window is about 40 hours, and it takes us about 20 to get across. And those weather windows at the moment can be kind of few and far between. So it's like you might be delayed a week with the order, but then you could also be delayed another week with wind. But anyway, we'll worry about that when the time comes. Okay. All right, that's all lubed up. Alrighty, and then he needs to go in like that, right? His alarms go that way. Okay. I'm glad we took a photo. I was definitely going to go the wrong direction. You got to get his little arms right. Okay. Little arms, in he goes. Oh, dang it. Oh, Jesus. I don't know how the hell I cut that. It's deeper than I thought it was. Oh well. We'll see.
You see water?
I think so. Pretty sure there's water. So I'm basically using an Allen wrench to get behind it and then like push on the back of the seal to try and move it out. So there's this guy, and then behind it is a little O-ring. So I pushed the little O-ring back and then used like the tools to get behind in the gap and push this out until I could grab it and pull it. These apparently, so yeah, we tested it and it leaked still, so we know we need a new lip seal. These apparently fail pretty commonly because there's like a coil in here, a spring, and because it's made of metal, you can see it rusts and then they fail. I don't really know why you couldn't install it backwards so that it doesn't rust it out, but apparently you're meant to do it this way. Anyway, so you can kind of see the little metal tube in there. Yeah, there it is. So yeah, we'll see if we can find a new one Apparently they're not super hard to find, so we'll see. And worst case, apparently we can just pack it with grease and shove it in there and hope for the best for a couple months, but we'd prefer to replace it. Well, it's the next day, but in good news, we found the exact seal. This one is made for like an auto, not for marine purposes. So the mechanic we talked to that got it for us actually put an O-ring inside and took the little steel wire out because those tend to rust. I'm going to push this in now, new seal. I'll see if I can just push it in, but I might use a socket set just to help me drive it in nicely. So he goes on there like so. And we use this to push it in. I might have to give it a bit more convincing.
More surface area.
It's almost in. You can see the new seal in there, and it feels a lot tighter than the old one, so that's good.
Moment of truth.
So far, so good. All right, we'll let her run for a few minutes because we weren't able to check all the oil levels after she'd run for a while because of the leak. So we'll let her run for like 10-20 minutes, see if there's any salt water leaking, and then we can check all the oil. With the new seal in, Chuffed is ready to leave San Carlos to cross the Sea of Cortez for the third time. But before we do that, we wanted to share with you all our latest veterinary project. Puerto Madero is a small coastal town in Mexico where we completed Chuffed's 3-year refit. While we were there, we started the first veterinary outreach programs in the area and worked with a local veterinary student, Jenny. Jenny helped us with vaccination and spay and neuter campaigns and showed us her passion and desire to help the animals in her community. We did a lot of training with Jenny while we were there to help ready her for graduation, and she is now a fully fledged veterinarian. Since we left, Dr. Jenni built and opened her own veterinary clinic in the centre of town. Dr. Jenni really wanted to continue the outreach work that we'd began, but did not have any funding or support to do so. So we're very pleased to report that VetTales now provides Jenny with monthly funding and veterinary support that goes directly towards providing free and low-cost veterinary care to local pets, and Dr. Jenni also treats the local street dogs. Some of her recent projects include a low-cost spay and neuter campaign for dogs and cats, the treatment of a large transmissible venereal tumour in a street dog, the provision of chemotherapy for that same disease, and a vaccination campaign. We want to continue this funding for 2024 and have a GoFundMe page that you can visit to help Puerto Madero's animals. The people and pets of Puerto Madero thank you all. This community is in a beautiful location but receives no outside help for their pets, so everybody is extremely grateful. Not only are we helping reduce disease in the dogs and cats, but we're also helping to prevent contagious zoonotic diseases spreading to the human population, especially the children who spend the most time with the pets and tend to cuddle with them. We're also supporting a young woman with a new business, which is really cool too. So once again, if you'd like to help us continue this work, visit the GoFundMe page to donate. A $50 donation can help provide vaccination and spaying or neutering to a local dog. Next episode, we cross the Sea of Cortez to begin our next veterinary project in Bahia Concepcion. Thanks to our patrons and donators who make the work we do possible. You can become a patron and get lots of extras like live updates by following the links below. You can also help us by giving this video a like or sharing it with your friends, or leave a comment for us. Until next episode, stay chuffed everybody.